Example 2, factorize, part A, 4 to the power of x minus 9. Okay, so how to factorize this one? Well, we can see that number 9 here is a square, it's 3 squared. And number 4 to the x, well, it is also a square, but to see it we have to express number 4 using number 2. So first let me replace 4 by 2 to the power of 2. This is then raised to the power of x minus, and as I said, number 9 is 3 squared, like this. Now let's do another step. 2 to the power of 2 all to power of x is just 2 to the power of 2x, 2 times x, minus 3 to the power of 2, without any change here, equals, and this here, this product, 2x in the exponent, can be written as x times 2. So we can replace it by 2 to the power of x. Now I will try to use this very little cross, times 2 minus 3 to the power of 2. And in here, when I replace this by this, I have used the law, the power law, a to the power of m all to the power of n equals a to the power of mn. Then what I did here, I replaced this by this, so I said just that this is a to the power of nm. So I changed the order in this product. And the final step here that I'm going to use is to say that this then must be equal to a to the power of n all to the power of m. Okay, so here this equals to 2 to the power of x all to the power of 2 minus 3 to the power of 2. So you see, if you have a power of a power, like here, a to the power of m, and that all to the power of n, then this is the same as a to the power of n all raised to the power of n. This is a very practical rule to remember, so we can skip some steps here if we want to use it. So this was the last change of this power, and now here, look, you have something squared minus something squared. There is a formula, a squared minus b squared, which you should use here with advantage. So this formula tells you that it should be a plus b times a minus b. Okay, so this expression here must be, according to this formula, if you identify a, well, what is a? A is 2 to the power of x, and what is b? B here is just number 3. So if you use this formula, you get a plus b, so it should be 2 to the power of x plus 3, all in brackets, times, and 2 to the power of x minus 3. And this is the final form, the factorized form of the original expression. And hopefully, yeah, this is the right answer. Now let's do part B. Okay, in part B we have somewhat complicated 3-term expression. So 9 to the power of x plus 4 times 3 to the power of x plus 4. Again, we see that there are 2 powers here, 3 to the power of x and 9 to the power of x, but you see there is some relationship between 9 and 3, there is a connection between them. 9 is actually 3 squared, so why not use it? We should use it. So replace 9 by 3 squared. It's the first step. 3 squared all to the power of x equals, plus 4 times 3 to the power of x, so I just write it like this, 3 to the power of x, plus, and you have 4 here. 4 can be expressed as 2 squared. It's just 2 to the power of 2, 2 squared, equals. Now, I will use this already developed law that a to the power of n all to the power of n is the same as a to the power of n all raised to the power of n. So I can use it here, and if I do use it for the first term, what I get is 3 to the power of x all to the power of 2 plus. Now, number 4 here can be expressed as 2 times 2, and we then have times 3 to the power of x, and finally we have 2 to the power of 2. Now, if you look at this, it might seem familiar. There is a formula in algebra that says that a squared plus 2 times a times b plus b squared is simply a plus b all squared. Okay, can we identify terms on the left hand side of this formula? Can we find their corresponding terms here in this expression that we are trying to factorize? Well, let us try. So if I take a to be 3 to the power of x, then okay, it should be also here 2 times a times b. Actually, it's there, so there is a correspondence here and here, like that. If I take b to be 2, b is 2, as you can see here. Can we find it in this mixed term? Of course we can, there is b here. Okay. So you see the pattern. You have green a squared plus 2 times green plus red squared. So this is exactly the formula, and if you now use this formula and use especially its right hand side, you can see that it's going to be a bracket, and in the bracket we are going to have a plus b. So a is 3 to the power of x plus, and b is just 2, and all this is squared, and this is the final form of the answer. Yes, it really is.